Well, guys, I can tell you I certainly wasn't expecting much from this movie, and I was so surprised with my result when I came out of it. Guys, today we are going to be talking about Teen Titans Go to the Movies. And why am I surprised? First of all, guys, you should know that I am a massive fan of the original Teen Titans show that premiered on Cartoon Network. I watched that show every single week when it came out, and I still try to watch it as much as I can, because if you haven't already seen, I made an analysis of that show talking about why I believe it's one of, if not the best comic book related shows out there, because the way I see it, Teen Titans established a world, it established characters, it established villains in just the perfect way so you could get connected with everybody and you're excited to get invested in the show. Teen Titans Go, while I realize it's a show that is made for kids, it's not made for adults like myself. What I can say about the show is it feels like they took a really great property and they're just trying to milk it, pitch it to the youngest audience so they can get as much money out of it. Luckily, Teen Titans Go to the Movies, it's such a surprising film because everything that was in Teen Titans Go, the television show, while there are some elements in that show in this movie, this film is so much different. Let's start out with the premise in case you guys don't know anything about Teen Titans Go to the Movies. So in Teen Titans Go to the Movie, Batman is having a movie premiere and Robin and the rest of the Teen Titans get there, they watch the movie, and Robin has the realization that he himself wants to have his own superhero movie. And let me tell you, right there, right off the bat, the first 10 minutes of this movie made me realize what kind of film this was going to be. Because the comedy is not only good, it's not only funny, it is insanely clever. This film, very much like the Lego Batman movie before it, is a very intelligent, clever satire about superheroes, about cinema, and about film in general. I mean, some of my favorite jokes inside of this movie, I do not know how they got away with it. There is references and there are jokes about the DCEU, there's jokes about Marvel, there's jokes about action movies. There are so many references in here, and there are particular songs, particular cameos, particular things in here where I am so surprised that they were legally allowed to do it and they didn't get into any trouble whatsoever. And just to let you know, I'm not going to ruin it for you guys, but if you're a fan of John Schnapp, if you know about a very certain documentary that he made called The Death of Superman Lives, then you should get even more enjoyment out of this, because there is one actor who voices a character in here who I wasn't expecting, and it was such a joy to listen to him play this particular character. And one of my favorite aspects of this film was all the actors who were in here portraying their original characters: Robin, Starfire, Raven. I love Tara Strong as Raven. Can I tell you, Raven was one of my favorite characters inside the original Teen Titans, and she was one of my favorite characters in this movie. Beast Boy, Cyborg, I mean, seeing all these people together and watching them interact and listening to the dialogue, it honestly felt at some points like the original Teen Titans, and what I loved about that show. And the animation. Yes, granted, the animation is not as good and not as pristine as the original Teen Titans show. I would prefer to have that original animation in here, but the animation in here I thought was enjoyable. I thought it looked pretty sleek and everything across the board. It looked pretty darn good. And there were several moments in here where I felt like I was almost going to tear up for some strange reason, but there were a few character moments in here where it felt very heartfelt, very deep, and just very personal. Yes, there is a cliched message in this film about being who you are, acknowledging who you are, and not being ashamed of that. But that's a message that I don't mind, because it's a message that I fully believe in. And I believe it's a message that every kid needs to hear. Also, I just want to give you guys a heads up. Like I said, there are certain cameos in here that you may enjoy, but do yourself a favor and stay until after the credits. Now, as far as cons go with this movie, what you may not know about this film is it's a musical. There are several musical numbers strewn in throughout here. And besides one, there is one song in this film that I enjoyed. The rest of them, it felt like the film was backtracking. It felt like we were in an episode of Teen Titans Go. I mean, the lyrics I didn't think were that good. I mean, it just wasn't up to snuff, and the characters didn't act like they were acting throughout the entire rest of the film. It was just, like I said, it feels like we were backtracking. We were in a television show and not the clever satire that we've been watching from the beginning. But as a whole, guys, I'm not gonna lie, this film, it surprised me. And the more I think about it, the more I like it. And this may end up in my top 10 films of this year. It's not going to end up in my top 5, but right now I'm seriously considering it being in my top 10 because I don't know what I was expecting, but the surprise I got from Teen Titans Go is one of my favorite movie experiences that I've had this entire year. This film was a blast from beginning to end, and I want to see it again. And it really does make me hopeful for the future. It really, really does. And although the songs in the film bothered me, like really insanely bothered me, I will still say that Teen Titans Go to the movies surprisingly is a good casual watch. But as always, guys, you know I gotta leave you off with a question of what you thought about this movie. But before we leave off, for those of you who are new here, thank you so much for showing up. And now that we're in the end screen, just remember, guys, you'll find all my social media links up at the top of the screen. And if you want to check out more reviews that I've done in the year of 2018, then you should click on the top tab right there. There's an entire playlist of all the films I've done. And if you enjoyed my thoughts on Teen Titans Go and you want to get more in-depth thoughts of what I think of film, then you should click over there. Click to the link to go listen to the Sweet Film Podcast. If you can't watch it, you can certainly listen to it on SoundCloud and iTunes. It's a podcast that me and my buddy Zach Pope started up. It's got lots of good stuff for you in there. But guys, you know I wouldn't end this off with a question, so have you seen Teen Titans Go? And what did you think of it? More importantly though, are you a fan of the original Teen Titans show? I want to get your input, and whatever your thoughts may be, leave them in the comment section below so we can get a conversation started. And if you enjoyed what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right there and subscribe and become part of the fray of nerds who love cinema. You all have a fantastic day.